It's really my honor and pleasure to invite up our speaker today, Reverend Dr. Wayne Miller.
Well, hello. My name is Wayne Miller, in case you hadn't guessed it by now. I'm very happy to be here. I was asked a couple of months ago, on September 11th, actually, to give a sermon at the Clifton Church in New Jersey. And they posted that on YouTube. They taped it and posted it on YouTube. And we got some pretty favorable responses. One of those favorable responses came from my spiritual grandmother, Lisa Take, who was petitioned Reverend Werner here, Pastor Werner, to have me come down sometime. He thought he might be gone this weekend visiting his family. He got back, actually, but just in case, he didn't want to risk not having someone to speak, so he invited me to speak, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. As Shinan said, I joined the church 47 years ago, 1969. And it was a long time ago. One of the first people I met was Lisa Take. I was actually visiting Los Angeles with my family. We were visiting relatives. We lived on the East Coast. And normally, just in Los Angeles for like a week and a half, my cousins, who Lisa had witnessed to, said she would never have witnessed to me because I wasn't going to be there to study principle. So she didn't want to burden me with this and then have me take off. But I had certain spiritual experiences growing up where I knew in my heart that God had something for me to do. And so the only thing, I'd made a pact with God. I said, look, I don't know what you want me to do, but I'll look everywhere. I'll sort of look everywhere. I'll investigate everything. Just point me in the right direction. So he pointed me to my cousin. And so I asked her one night, we were just riding around Los Angeles looking at the sites. And I said, well, what are you doing? She said, well, I'm with this Unification family, this unified family, and we have teachings. Well, I want to know what they are. She goes, well, we don't usually talk to people who aren't going to be here. I said, look, God told me I'm going to find out something, and if you know something, you got to tell me. So when I heard chapter 1, that was it. Like, oh my God. Because one of the things that I had realized growing up is I was thinking about a couple very profound points, like, what is the purpose of my life? What am I going to do? Be a scientist or a professor or this or that. I said, yeah, but that's all like external. What's really important? And I thought, the most important thing is to have an ideal family. I want to have an ideal family. Of course, at that time, I didn't realize I would have to become ideal. I just thought, I should be the right woman. And also, I had a friend in high school who told me, he said, one day, he said, I don't think I'm a Christian. I think maybe I'm Jewish. I said, why? I mean, we went to the same church. He said, why do you say that? He goes, I don't think Jesus was God. I can't get my head around that. And I had never thought about that directly before, but I thought, okay, let me think. And I just thought no, Jesus is not God. I just realized, no, he's not God. He's a very, very special human being. But he's a human being. He's not God. I don't know how I know that, but I know it. It's just there in my head. It's there. And then I was reading stuff on Christianity, and there's people saying, it doesn't matter what you do on earth. If you have the right belief, you go to heaven. And I said, why, that doesn't make any sense at all. I said, why would God create the physical world if it's just meaningless? We're just here to make sure we got the right doctrine. Like, what about the people who were born in Africa or India or someplace? No, if God created the world, there has to be a purpose to the physical world, or the physical life. There has to be a purpose. It makes sense, right? So when I heard the principle of creation, physical body provides energy for your spirit to grow to perfection, and only then can you enter the kingdom of heaven, the spirit world. And the way you do that is to create ideal families. And, oh my God, this guy's even smarter than I am. Because I had some of these thoughts that are in the principle. I had some of these inspirations, but I wasn't able to put it all together in a package, whereas Father just lays it all out. This is the way it is. And my son, Sonny, who's kind of he likes to poke me sometimes. He said, well, Dad, suppose I, in college or afterwards, I made some sort of cult. They want me to join. Which, should I just turn it down? And I give him the same advice that Dr. Ron gave his daughter when she ran into somebody at Berkeley who was trying to recruit her for Hare Krishna or something. And she said, I don't know what to do. He goes, no, go ahead. Check out everything. If you can find some group or theology that's more clear and more convincing than divine principle, I'll come join you myself. Really, just don't be afraid of anything. You should be able to investigate everything and take the best from everything. So anyway, one of the first people I met after meeting my cousin and Lisa Taki and John Schuart, I went to Berkeley, California, and met Dr. Edwin Ang, because I had relatives in Berkeley, so that's why we're up there. And Dr. Ang, I remember he just said to me, make sure you study the principle. It's very important. I said, okay, absolutely. So I actually did study the principle, and I actually was in college. I stayed in college for 2 years, but I started my own church center there. Philip Burley took me under his wing for a few weeks at Washington, D.C. I went there in the summer of '69, and he taught me how to teach the principle, really the condensed course. So I went back and I taught principle to all my friends, and we had 12 people join in 2 years. Of course, most of them left, but still, some of them didn't leave, and even the ones who left witnessed other people who are still around. So I'm very happy about that. After that, I went to New York City, and I became, sort of one way or another, the main lecturer for the New York City Church. So I've actually lectured the divine principle more than 1,000 times, all the way through, in various ways and means. The thing that always amazes me is when I talk to people, I say, have you been studying the principle? Are you going to go on this workshop? You're going to go? They say, I don't need that. I've read the divine principle 2 or 3 times already. I got it. I'm down. I'm good for that. Like, you've heard it or read it 2 or 3 times, and you just got it, right? That's amazing. I really, I wish I were you. Because even now, after 47 years, whenever I study the principle, I learn something new every single time. I just read something, oh my God, I didn't realize that. That's amazing. And, we want to do Hundike. And people say, well, I don't do principle, I just do Hundike. That's fine. I think it's really important to read Father's words. Yeah, absolutely. But if we don't understand the principle, sometimes it's really hard to know what Father's talking about. Because it's like the principle is skeleton, and Hundike is the flesh on the skeleton, which fills it out. You can't have the flesh without the skeleton, or you just collapse. You can't have the skeleton, and if you want the flesh, that's not good either. You're very thin. You're sort of wasting away. So you need both. So I just want to say that up front, because I've studied the principle a lot, and I'm convinced that there's nothing else like it anywhere. And but anyway, the topic of my sermon is Unification Existentialism, or, it's time to pack up our sorrows. I know many of you, right? Keith Cooper-Ryder, Lisa, Harumi, a bunch of you I know, Misako-san, back there, wonderful sister, Misako. She's not my babysitter for my daughter, my granddaughter. And many other things as well, and your bookkeeper. I've known you guys for a long time, and I know that when we joined the Unification Church 35, 40, 47 years ago, we were excited. We were happy. Even though life sometimes was miserable, we were happy. Yeah, those 20-hour fundraising conditions, 7 days a week, or 40-hour witnessing conditions with no sleep, or the 7-day fast. We did all this, but we were happy. Why were we happy? Well, let me ask you a question. How many of you could say, I'm happy today? Please raise your hand if you say, I'm really happy. Okay. Maybe. Okay. We were happy because we felt we were doing something very important, and we chose to do it. Right. We chose to do it. That's right. Now, my life in the church has been rather odd. Except for David Kim and Dr. On in the seminary, it seems like everybody I worked with hated me. We've all had these situations, but people wanted to kill me. They wanted to throw me out. Yeah. I actually had people tell me, I don't like you. I think you should leave the Unification Church. I want to see your face here. But I'm kind of stubborn. I'm German background. So I would just look at them and they say, you don't like being here with me? Fine. You can leave. I'm going to stay. And many times they at least sometimes. But the point is, I chose to be here. So some people ask me, sometimes I had really bad situations where I was working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. My wife also, we were getting almost no money from the church wasn't paying us. We were just living on breadcrumbs and water. I'm not kidding there. And people say, well, Miller, why don't you just quit and leave and do something else? I said, why? Because I made a commitment. I made a commitment to God, to parents, that I would do this. And no one, nothing is going to push me off my path. I don't care who it is or what it is. My father one time said this to people, never let anyone else ruin your kingdom of heaven. Never let anyone else ruin your life. If you decide to do something, then do it. But to go back to happiness here. We were happy. For those years we worked in church, especially the first 5 or 10 years, boy, we'd get up early, we'd pray, I only got 3 hours sleep last night, but I'm really psyched to go out there and whatever I'm going to do, But over time, especially after you get blessed and start having kids, then suddenly the world starts to impinge upon you. The world's, money, concerns, this and that. And we're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do, And then the church says, we have to give 10% of your income, or you have to give 10% of this, or you have to do this or that. We're like, oh my God, I can't afford that. Okay. So eventually we start to get this seed of complaint. I don't think the church is using my offering properly. I don't know. I don't trust the church hierarchy. I don't trust this. I don't trust that. Okay. You know what? If this weren't a church, I'd use a different language. But to heck with the church. I never wanted to join a church. Okay, let me just say this right up front. I grew up in a family, my parents were the most wonderful Christians you can imagine. My father actually, back in the 30s and 40s, when my parents got married, they were dirt poor. I mean, he was making $20 a week at his job or something ridiculous like that. But eventually, my father saved up enough money to buy a nice winter trench coat to wear to church on Sundays, a nice one. So the first day he had it, he and my mother went to church. On the way back from church, there was a guy hitchhiking. And it was winter, blizzard outside. The guy's in his shirt sleeves, no coat. My father picked him up, and this is upstate New York. The weather was probably 10 below zero or something like that. So my father gives the guy a ride, asks where he's going, takes him there. And then, after he's about to let the guy out, my father gets out of the car and takes up his coat and gives it to this guy. He said, I think we need this more than you. That was my father. He believed in the words of Jesus. They were never doctrinaire. My father didn't say this doctrine, that doctrine, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity. No, he said, if you believe in God and Jesus, you should read the Scriptures and live accordingly. If you don't live according to the teaching of Jesus, you are not a Christian. I don't care what you say you believe. And my mother she wasn't quite as theological as my father, but she was a wonderful person. They moved to Florida when they retired. When my mother passed away in 1984, 200 cars were in the funeral procession. 200 different families went to her funeral to the grave because they loved her. This is how good my parents were. So they were in my opinion, they were the best that Christianity had to offer. But when I went to the church, oh my God, people are backstabbing and backbiting and sniping and spreading rumors, vicious rumors, because I want that position. I don't like them in that position. I want to have their position. I want that position. I want to be in charge of Sunday school. I want to be in charge of this. I just thought, what in the world is that? What's that all about? How can people call themselves Christian when they're behaving this way? So I decided, by the time I left high school, I don't like religion. But still, God had told me I have something to do. In 1960, I was sitting in church, in the front of church, and I saw Jesus up in the front. Just for a few seconds, Jesus was there, all golden, but seemingly far away. I was like freaked out, like, oh my God. And then when I looked a couple of seconds later, he was gone. So I said to my father later, I said, I don't know if I'm losing my mind or hallucinating, but I think I saw Jesus in church this morning. And my father said, no, God probably has something he wants you to do. So you should pray and ask him. I was 11 years old at the time. And so for the next 9 years, from 11 to the age of 20, I would pray every night, asking God, what do you want me to do? Now, don't be wrong. I wasn't like some sort of monk or something. I was a normal teenager, like to party and have fun with my friends and everything. But I always prayed every night, God, what do you want me to do? So eventually, long story, I can tell you about how I met the church, but it's very complicated. But anyway, I ended up going to California, met the church, and I realized God wanted me to do this. This is what God wanted me to do. But I came back to Washington, D.C., and I wanted to know more about the church and study more. And they were having some meeting, or VOC or something. They said, so I wanted to go in. They said, well, are you a church member? Did you sign the paper? And I said, sign what paper? Well, you can be a church member. This is for church members. I said, look, if Reverend Moon is the Messiah, I'm following him. I don't know what this church is or these papers want me to sign, but I intend to follow the Messiah. So you can step out of my way. So they let me in. But eventually, a few months later, I thought, okay, I really see the picture now, and so I'll join. I'll sign the paper. I'll make you happy. I'll sign this paper. But in my heart, I never joined any church. I just wanted to follow true parents. That's all I wanted. Amen. I wanted to support true parents.